So thank you, and thank you again for listening to the Grumpy Chunk podcast. I am your humble servant, Grumpy Chunk. I want to thank you for checking us out on the YouTube and also the Facebook page. You're just typing in Grumpy Chunk, and there it goes. It's going to come up. It's going to pop up. Also, if you want to get an email in here, thegrumpychunkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us on Twitter @thegrumpychunk. Not a lot of action on the Twitter. I can tell you right now. I got a ton of emails. We got a ton of action on the YouTube and a ton of action on the Facebook, but Twitter, nobody cares. It just seems like nobody cares, which is fine, whatever. And one last thing is I forgot to tell you about some of the other things we have coming up in today's program, because today's program is chock full of entertainment value. I'm telling you, you're getting what you pay for. News in my pants and an email of the day for sure. That's also coming up. And I've been putting this off. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but my consultants, they said, Grumpy, just give it a chance. Just give a movie review a chance. Mr. Tan, because he flew in this week from his home in Houston. How about that? And we went out to lunch. He's having this. Let me tell you something. This is how Mr. Tan orders lunch. Okay, we went to a Mexican restaurant, right? At the restaurant, he doesn't order like the plate. He doesn't say, okay, well, I like the chimichanga, platter or whatever. He just says, okay, I would like a plate of meat. I'd like a plate of tomatoes. I'd like a plate of sour cream. I'd like a plate of lettuce. I'd like a plate that has the taco shells on it, not filled. The waiter's looking at us. He's like, well, you can buy this. And he's like, no, this is what I want. I can make my own, thank you. I was like, what the? Okay, whatever, man. And then I ordered a platter. And I asked him about it. I said, why would you order like that? He says, well, because I like to build it myself. Okay. Everybody has their quirks. But this is what he says to me. He's eating his taco, and he said, Mr. Tan, my consultant, he says to me, Grumpy, let me tell you something. People love the movie reviews. And you refusing to do the movie reviews means people aren't going to like you. People need to like the Grumpy. People need to like the Chunk. You got to do it. We'll sponsor it. We'll do whatever you do. Pick any movie. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, fine. I just agreed to him because I just, I've been hearing him on the calls. I've been hearing, now he flew in from Houston to sit down with me and have this conversation. Okay. Okay. So I broke down and I'm going to do a movie review. Mickey Dolan, do I have like an intro for this or do I just start going? Oh, there's an intro. Okay, let's hear it.
It's starting to smell a little like danger in here.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
I am just a figment of your imagination.
Hang on a minute, lads.
Don't you know it's time for the movie review?
The heavy metal Smeagol? What?
Don't you know it's time for the movie review?
You imbecile! You bloated idiot!
That's it. Let me tell you, this movie review segment is already doomed. I'm telling you right now. Okay, so here's what we got going on. Movie review time with Grumpy Chunk. Here we go. The movie I chose was Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
History prefers legends to men. It prefers nobility to brutality. Soaring speeches to quiet deeds. History remembers the battle and forgets the blood. Whatever history remembers of me, if it remembers anything at all, it shall only be a fraction of the truth. For whatever else I am, a husband, a lawyer, a president, I shall always think of myself as a man who struggled against darkness.
Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Think about that. 2012 movie from Tim Burton. Let me tell you something. A buddy of mine suggested this movie because he said it was awesome. I'm like, all right, you know what? Since I've never seen it before, I'm going to do it. All right. So this movie is really dark. It's very dank. It's very, 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 very dark. I mean, it's all shadows. Is pretty much. It's a vampire movie, right? It's supposed to be a horror movie.
What we do not for one man, but for the good of all mankind.
Because Abe Lincoln, had a British accent. But here's the deal. After seeing his mom being killed by a vampire at age 9, Abraham Lincoln is scarred. I'd be scarred too. You'd be scarred. I'd be scarred. If I saw my mom being killed by a vampire. Then later, when he becomes president of the United States, instead of dealing with the southern states leaving the Union, he finds that vampires are plotting to take over the United States. So he makes it his mission to put an end to that.
If vengeance is all you seek it elsewhere.
So Abraham Lincoln, he grabs his axe, and now he's throwing it around like he's Aragorn, son of Arathorn, the right ruler of Middle-earth, taking on the evil forces of orcs from Mordor. I mean, this guy's swinging it around. Not like a lumberjack swinging. I mean like a samurai or a Jedi master. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like 1861, and this guy's throwing it around like a Jedi master, like he's Yoda.
Power, Lincoln, real power, comes not from hate, but from truth.
Also, I've seen a lot of documentaries on Abe Lincoln during my life. None of them, and I mean none of them, ever suggested he was a vampire hunter. And the closest documentary that I saw, he was an alien from another world, but that was on the History Channel. And since nobody really counts documentaries or anything that has to do with history on the History Channel anymore, that probably doesn't really count, right? Okay. So a buddy of mine suggested that I see this movie because he said the movie was absolutely awesome. All right. Now, normally I would give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to movies, right? I guess, because this is my first one, so I don't know if I'm giving it a thumbs up, thumbs down, stars, I don't know, raspberries, it doesn't really matter. I will tell you what conclusion I have come to. I've come to the conclusion that my buddy has no taste. That movie was stupid. Flat out stupid. I mean, what's next? Millard Fillmore? Mad Scientist? Oh, Zachary Taylor? Chupacabra Assassin? Richard Nixon? The Ultimate Plumber? Chester A. Arthur? Zombie Poacher? No, you know what? FDR, America Badass. That's what I'm talking about right there. Set Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter aside. I'm going to tell you about a movie that I found that was really stupid, but meant to be stupid. It was awesome. So this brings us to our next movie review, because after watching this horrible Abe Lincoln movie, I needed a movie that portrayed a president a little closer to the truth, and I found it in FDR, America Badass.
Badassery is not born, but often thrust upon you. The film you are about to see is dedicated to badasses everywhere. If you have to ask yourself if you are one, you're probably not. Sincerely, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
So FDR, America Badass, 2012 movie from director Garrett Browith, and starring Barry Bostwick. This movie was flat out stupid. Just really a flat out stupid movie. And it was meant to be stupid. Movies like Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles, Flash Gordon, these movies are meant to be fun and stupid and not take themselves too seriously. This movie did not take itself at all seriously. Not like Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. That kind of took itself kind of seriously because Tim Burton was in charge. But FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, America Badass, this movie did not take itself seriously at all. It was meant to be fun and stupid. That's what it brought. It brought the stupid, it brought the fun.
If you're sniffing glue again, I swear to God, I'll beat you with a fat man's belt and wheel over you repeatedly until you bleed out of your eyes, nose, and ears.
This movie brings in, also, let me tell you, this movie does bring stupid to a whole new level.
If I would have smoke blown up my ass, I would have spread my cheeks and jammed a whistling teapot up there.
I mean, it tells the story, get this, it tells the story of FDR and how he caught polio. He caught polio from a werewolf bite. I mean, come on. That's just stupid to begin with, right? But the werewolves, it gets better. The werewolves are sent by Nazi Germany. And now Franklin Delano Roosevelt has to get in his wheelchair and go kick some Nazi ass. I mean, it's so stupid. The government gives him this wheelchair. It's filled with machine guns and stuff like that. And he's off hunting Nazi werewolves in Germany and Italy.
I'm a motorcycle of death. I ain't got no sidecar.
It's way more believable than Abraham Lincoln going after vampires with an axe. I can see FDR. Nothing to fear but Philip South. how is that right, Nazis? I mean, he's just, really?
No retreat.
No surrender.
So there you go. FDR, American Badass, 2012 movie with Barry Bostwick. That's the star of that. If you don't know who Barry Bostwick is, when you see him, you go, oh, that guy. That's how that's going to go. And that's it. That is Grumpy Chunk's movie review. To recap, Abe Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, stupid, dumb, waste of time. FDR, American Badass, stupid, dumb, a total waste of time.
It's starting to smell a little like danger in here.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
I am just a figment of your imagination.
Hang on a minute, lads.
Don't you know it's time for the movie review?
The heavy metal Smeagol? What?
Don't you know it's time for the movie review?
You imbecile! You bloated idiot!